You know what's great? Going to a game. You know what's not great? Parking at a game. With Uber, you can turn event parking into a non-event. Just install the Uber app. Enter your destination, confirm your location, and within minutes, a car will pick you up. I know, right? With upfront fares, you can know the price before you go. And you pay with the Uber app so you can save your cash for the souvenir shop. So make tonight a fun night. Install the Uber app now and take your first ride today. Uber, the better way to get there.
You're tuning in to the Goldilocks presentation of the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show with Anthony Rodriguez. Anthony Rodriguez, aka Walking Crow, found transformational energy healing through a personal search into healing and was transformed by this experience. He made the decision to pursue training and has since become a certified energy healing practitioner with an emphasis on working with clients in recovery from addiction. His willingness to be open and listen has allowed him to be of service to many who seek a peaceful, serene, and healthier body, mind, and spirit. Call in now if you would like to speak with Anthony. The call-in number is 713-955-0332. Enjoy this transformational and healing show.
Well, good afternoon, and welcome to the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show. My name is Anthony Rodriguez, Walking Crow, and let me start with this, palabra, word. And if you haven't tuned into the show before, when I say palabra, word, that means that what I say is my truth, and I speak from my truth, and I speak from my honesty, and I speak from a place that's deep within. And if it isn't your truth, that's okay, because I agree to disagree. Alrighty? So welcome to the show. Welcome back. And welcome to the second week of the new year. Boy, we're 2 weeks well into the new year. We're coming up on a full moon. Mercury in retrograde is almost completely gone. I think later tonight that'll be a done deal altogether. So, move forward into your new life, and but don't run. Walk, don't run. I'm a firm believer and a listener to the Leo King, and he's been telling us just take it easy, don't run, walk, don't run. So I'm going to take his advice and share his advice with you as well. So today's show, we're going to be talking about coming out of your head and letting go of the story. And what's your story? How long have you been carrying it? How long have you been telling yourself the story? And coming out of your head to let go of the story, to come into your soul and to live free from the bondage of self. Let go of the bad habits and that you beat yourself up for, and how long have you been beating yourself up for? How long are you going to do that? How long are you going to give yourself excuses to avoid doing something good for yourself, like speaking good words to yourself, like feeding yourself good food instead of junk food, using kind words and loving words to love yourself, learning how to ask others for what it is that you need. Most of the people that I come in contact with that need energy healings, that come to me because there's an issue in the tissue that's tied to their emotional state, their spiritual state, their psychological state, their physical state. And we start to manifest physically in our bodies when we're not able to address the issues that are going on within us in our system, and we escape into our head and we start to manifest different types of things. And you've heard me say it before. It could be smoking, it could be cigarettes, it could be smoking pot, it could be alcohol, it could be cancer, it could be overeating, it could be, you name it. The things that we feed ourselves as a whole are not necessarily healthy for us, but we know that, but we do it anyways. So today I want to start with a little grounding, and might as well get grounded. It's winter, we're in the direction of the north, direction of winter, direction of grandmothers and the grandfathers, the ancestors, direction of wisdom, white buffalo earth. So just allow, if you're sitting or standing, just place your feet flat on the floor, put your hands on your knees if you're sitting down, and sit up straight. If you're standing up, just drop your hands to your side, and close your eyes and allow your feet to sink down into the floor, whatever kind of floor you have, whether it's a hardwood floor, whether it's a carpeting, whatever that flooring is, allow your feet to sink down and allow Mother Earth's energy to flow upward into your feet from Middle Earth, through the layers and layers and layers of Mother Earth into your feet, into your energy space. Chi, prana, energy, allow it to flow through your system and be with you, be with it. Allow it to be in your body and permeate your body from bottom to top, from the first chakra to the seventh chakra and into the universe and back down again. Aho, say, aho. Take a deep breath. Inhale into your feet and exhale. One more time. Inhale into your feet. All the way down and exhale. And a third time. Inhale and exhale. Now understand when I say to you, inhale to your feet, we're not necessarily inhaling to our feet, but when you take in air into your heart space, air, lungs, I love, I'm loved, understand that on the way down and on the way in to the heart, as you breathe in and work your way down, you're working your way down to the third chakra, fire, fuego, I can, I will, I do. And when you take a breath in, fire, and I said fire, the third chakra is your fire, your will center. When you take a breath in, that breath stokes that fire of your third chakra, and that fire grows because fire needs oxygen. Fire needs oxygen. And when you have that kind of fire burning above your second chakra, which is element water, your connection to others, it's where you feel, it's where you create, it's where you fight or flight. When that fire is stoked by the air that you take into your lungs and it flows right down into the third chakra, and that fire grows, it hits that water and it creates steam, esteem, which rises to your third chakra. Steam, and you connecting the second chakra to yourself. That's loving yourself. That's giving yourself something. That's giving yourself something with an intention. Taking in the breath in that way, grounding first, and taking a breath in that way to heal yourself. To heal yourself of what? To heal yourself and to clear yourself of those blocks that are potentially there. Where? In your fifth chakra, more than anywhere. Because when we stop speaking about the things that we need, the things that we want, the things that were done to us, we move into our heads, and we go into a dark place sometimes of depression, anxiety, stress. And then we don't know what to give ourselves. We don't know how to heal ourselves, and we don't know how to come out of that deep, dark place. Well, I'm here to tell you that there's a way to come out of that deep, dark place. And it's through your breath, and it's through your ground, and it's through your chakra system. So take time every day before you even get out of your bed to sit at the edge of your bed, put your feet flat on the floor, and go through that same exercise. But when you go through that exercise of taking the breath in, I want you to notice when you close your eyes and you take that breath, I want you to put your hands wherever you feel that breath in your body. Just place your hands there for nothing more than the purpose of noticing and being with your body and learning to be with your body. All right. So you're listening to the Transformational Sacred Drum Radio Show. My name is Anthony Rodriguez, Walking Crow, and you can call in at 713-955-0332. And press 1 to get out of hold, and so you can ask questions, or you can get a free healing, or we can do a chakra reading, or whatever you want to talk about. It's up to you. We're here live till 2 o'clock, so I welcome your calls, and feel free to call in. So, Anthony, but how do I come out of my head? Well, I got to tell you, I took a job a few weeks ago, about a month ago, and a lot of the people that I speak to in that particular place have issues in their tissues. And I'm in a vitamin department of a particular food store chain. And I walk them through the issues in their tissues on the spot where we're standing, and they're really surprised at what they hear from me. And when we carry around the story of the things that happen to us, and we repeat that story in our head, or every time we repeat it to somebody else, we relive that wound, we relive the trauma, we relive the hurt. And if we haven't done anything to embrace that or to heal from that, we're going to be rewounded each and every time in a different way. Sometimes it's just really subtle, and sometimes it's as subtle as feeding that wound, as sitting on the couch at 10 o'clock at night eating, from half a gallon of ice cream or a bowl of popcorn or whatever it is, feeding that place, because the stomach is in the second chakra area, third chakra area, fire, fuego, second chakra, connection to others, third chakra is fire. It's in those places that we stuff. If we don't know how to ask for love, if we've had a lifetime of feeling unloved and we're smokers, understand where that smoke is going. Understand what you're giving yourself instead of asking what it is that you want. What is it that you want? How is it that you want to heal? If you take the breath in the morning when you get out of bed and you find yourself placing your hands on your heart constantly, what is it that you need? Do you need love? Do you know how to ask for love? Is there somebody that's in your life that you don't know how to deal with, that's affecting your well-being? Your root, your ground, because those things will affect our well-being, and root chakra, ground, is well-being, security, safety, well-being. Remember that the chakra systems are connected. The issues in the tissues are connected. One affects another, and the other affects another, and the other affects another. So it's a domino. It's a chain effect. It's a domino effect. And so understand that about your body. Understand that about your emotional state. Understand that about your mind. Understand what it is you give yourself because of the things that you think, the things that you talk about. What goes into your body is just as important as what comes out. So it's important to talk about those things. Yeah, and you can have an overblown fifth chakra too, where you're always talking and you're not willing to listen. I know a lot of people like that. I know a lot of smart people who say, I know, yeah, but. They're going to, I know, yeah, but themselves to death, by sticking a needle in their arm, by driving drunk or whatever it is that they do. They put themselves at risk doing. Well-meaning people do well-meaning things. I know. I grew up with well-meaning people who said they loved me, who dangled a carrot in front of me for a lifetime. And I spent a lifetime trying to reach for that carrot out of duty, and I failed miserably. And I ended up in a place that I didn't intend to end up. And they didn't intend for that, and I didn't intend for that, but that's what happened. But having the awareness of that, I was able to heal myself. I was able to come into a place and start writing those things down and taking a match or a candle or a lighter to those things, then with my intention, sending them to Creator, Great Spirit, and allowing Him to take care of those things and embracing those things in a way that was good, in a way of beauty, in a way of surrender. Because in surrender to the issues that come up for you, in surrender comes empowerment. That's the lesson in Alcoholics Anonymous. In your surrender to your alcoholism or alcohol, when you stop drinking, you become empowered. That was the magic for me, and that was the rub, and I was like, wow, I didn't know that. But I know that now. So if it works for alcohol, why can't it work for the issues in your tissues, for your emotional issues, for your emotional state, for your spiritual state, for your psychological state, for your physical state? Let go, let good, let go, let God. Transform from a seemingly hopeless state of mind and body. Recover from a seemingly hopeless state of mind and body. What is it? I will ask you one more time, and I will always ask you this. What is it that you want for yourself? What is it that you want to give yourself? What is it that you want to give your future? What is it that you want to give to others around you? Do you want to give others a better you? Do you want to give others a person that doesn't bristle every time something is said and you're offended by it because you're sensitive? I understand that. That was me. It's still me sometimes. Hi, human. Hi, human. All right, 713-955-0332. Call in, press 1 to get out of listen mode. I'd like to talk to you. I know that you're listening out there because I can see you. Right on. Anyways, so I have an event later today. Aside from doing the radio show on Tuesdays, I am at a place called food. Boy, I'm already forgetting where it is. Life Food Organic in Hollywood on Cahuenga and Sunset. I'm there doing a shamanic series, and I'm talking about the same subject. I'm talking about coming out of your head and letting go of the story and coming into your soul, coming into your body, coming into your being. Live free from the bondage of self, living free from the bondage of self. Let go of the bad habits, or letting go of the bad habits that you beat yourself up over. And what are the habits that you beat yourself up over? You know, if you're out there listening, comment and tell me about your bad habits. Tell me about the things that you won't tell others. You know, because you can't get help for something unless you actually admit it, unless you actually have the awareness of it, unless you actually ask for help. You know, knowing about it isn't enough. Asking for help and loving yourself and asking for what it is you need and what you want is a way to help yourself and a way to heal. You know, you just don't go into a healer or somebody who does Reiki or energy healing or massage or cupping or whatever the case may be, and go for one session and then you're all fixed. No, that's not the way it works. It's consistency. It's consistency. Just like you consistently gave yourself a cigarette, 20 times a day, just like you consistently gave yourself, the 5 o'clock, the happy hour for years, every day. All those things, just like we consistently gave yourself a donut on the way to the office every day. Clear yourself of those things. Be consistent about what it is you want for yourself. The good things that you would like for yourself. Some of those things are good sometimes. Smoking a pipe could be pleasurable, or a cigar. I don't know about a cigarette, but, a cigar or a pipe is sometimes good. It's not something I do, but there's some people who enjoy that once in a while. And it's not because they're masking a pain, a hurt, or a wound, a hope, or a trauma, And, yesterday I was speaking to a young lady, and she had admitted to her overeating and her binging and her eating, stuffing herself. And I said, that's due to low self-esteem and lack of confidence. She says, I'm a very confident person. I said, no, that's the mask. Telling yourself that you're confident is the mask, because the fact of the matter is, she told me her story, and as we talked, I started to explain it to her and break it down, and she's not as confident as she thinks she is. The confidence that she puts outward is the mask. It's what she uses to hide her insecurity, her low self-esteem, because when she's home by herself, she gives herself things that aren't good for her because nobody can see her, nobody's around. There's nobody to call her on anything, I hope. But with the information that I gave her last night on how things work within her system, within the chakra system, within the body, within the emotional state of the body, she learned a lot, and she understood when we stopped talking, when the end of the conversation, that she needed help. And she said she was going to call me. I hope she calls me. I hope she gives that to herself. I hope she does more than just pay herself lip service and double talk. Because there's a lot of us who will pay ourselves lip service and double talk for a lifetime, and it'll never end. And we die that way. We die with a broken heart. We die with a broken voice. We die with a broken esteem, I hope. We die from a shallow root when our tree gets knocked over by the four winds, I hope. What are the four winds? Anger, depression, anxiety, stress, fear. There's more than four. There's many winds. There's many types of different kinds of winds, but they will knock a tree down that is not well rooted. So by us starting this show today, the Transformational Energy Healing radio show today, by rooting, by grounding, we set ourselves up not to fall, not to fail, but to stand tall and to stand firm and to stand in who we are, to stand in our root, to stand in our security, our safety, our well-being, our whole, despite what goes on around us. It's not a perfect world. And if you're a healer, or if you're the greatest self-help guru, or a guru, period, we all have our issues, and we came from someplace, and we all had to overcome. And sometimes overcoming the overcoming is the overcoming. Let's talk about that. So we all have to come from someplace, and those of us who are healing need to share what it is we do with others, because there's a lot of me too involved in healing. You too, me too, relating to the story. I share the stories over and over again because there are those out there who relate to what I'm saying and understand, and they've never heard anybody say it to them before. Aho. 713-955-0332. Call in and ask any question you want. Get a healing. Let's talk. Tell me what it is that you want to know. Tell me what it is that you have to say. What is it that you've not been able to say to others or admit to yourself that you're willing to admit to me right here, right now, because we're the only ones listening, aren't we? This is a safe place. Never hold the energy of your fifth chakra, of the state of your hurt state of emotion. Always release it. Always let it go. The more you hold it, the more you stay in your head, the more you leave it in your body, the more you will torture yourself with other things. Let go and let good. Aho. Let go and let good. And by the way, for those of you who have had to deal with traumas with regard to maybe some abuse, whether it's physical, emotional, verbal, sexual, whatever kind of abuse, if you ran through life and you had to deal with that, there's a beautiful woman in my life who says something which I think is very important, especially if the trauma happened years ago. And what she said, my wife says, it's not happening anymore. Regardless of what happened to you then, it's not happening now. But it's the story that you keep telling yourself about that issue in your tissue and in your heart that keeps recycling and traumatizing you and shaming you and hurting you and wounding you. So stop the wounding, stop the shaming, stop the hurt, and step into a new life. Take that right foot. This is my right hand. This is the hand of the divine masculine. This is the hand of moving forward, my right leg of moving forward. And step forward. And in stepping forward, go into your left side, left hand of receiving, left hand of the divine feminine, and receive what you're giving yourself. Create that circle. Stepping forward with your right and receiving with your left. Forward with your right, receiving with your left. And give yourself what it is you want right here, right now. Wow. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Stoke that fire. Inhale. Exhale. Be with me right here, right now. This is the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show. And we are here, I am here to help you help yourself. What is it that you want? Do you want to be free? And do you want freedom from the bondage of the places that you've been, the hurts that you've felt, the wounds that you've had to carry? Freedom is not having to prove anything to anybody. You no longer have to chase after that dangling carrot that those well-meaning people put before you. And they are well-meaning people because they don't do those things on purpose. I mean, although they do and they don't. You know, because sometimes somebody will say to you, well, that's the way I was raised. That's the way I was brought up by my parents. You know, when my mom said that to me, you know what? It made perfect sense to me, and it freed me. I really was able to say, oh, that's what that is. And you know what? I didn't allow myself to hold her feet to the fire anymore. Because I held that woman's feet to the fire for years because of the way I thought that I was raised, or what I thought that I got, or what I thought that I didn't get. You know, stop thinking about it and start feeling about it. I hear people talk about, you know, especially I work with a lot of addicts and alcoholics, and they like to talk about their mind because they never come out of their mind. They never come into their body. They're always busy thinking. You know, they say things like this: expand your mind, forget your mind, expand your breath right into your heart chakra, right into your fourth chakra, right into your lungs, heart space. air, lungs, I love, I'm loved. And stoke that fire in the third chakra. Put your hands there on your third chakra and your sternum. Start with your left hand. Left hand is the hand of receiving. Put that hand down first. And allow that energy to flow through your hand from the third chakra up into the hand and past the wrist and up the forearm and around the corner of the elbow, up into the bicep and tricep, through the shoulder, across the shoulder through the fifth chakra, across the shoulders and the collarbone, into the right shoulder and the right arm, down the bicep and the tricep of the right hand, arm, and around the corner of the elbow, down to the forearm, past the wrist, into the palm and the fingers of my right hand, the hand of the masculine, divine masculine, the hand of giving, and put that right over that left hand of receiving, and give back and complete that circle. Complete the circle. What do you need to complete today? What have you spent a lifetime trying to complete and failed miserably doing it, and have beaten yourself up for failing miserably? I understand what that means. I understand what it feels like to fail miserably. The fact of the matter is we don't fail. They're just lessons. They're just lessons of either growth. We grow from the lesson, or we stay with that lesson until it comes up again, and we get it again, and we either conquer that, or we move through it again, because it's going to pop up if you don't deal with it. And I want to help you deal with it. How can you deal with it? 713-955-0332. This is the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show, and I'm Anthony Rodriguez, Walking Crow. And how can I help you? How can I help you come out of your head? You're not here on the table. You're not here in my office. You're not here in the studio. So how can I help you to come out of your head and come into your body? How can I help you to come into your breath? Do you want to come out of your head and into your body? Do you want to come into your breath? There's a yogi Ramesh, the laughing yogi. I met him up in Yucca Valley when I was there for the Babaji Parliament of World Religions, and he talked about taking in oxygen, taking breath into your body, and how oxygen, air, breath heals cancer. It heals disease. And that's why I tell you, breathe to your feet. Him and I speak the same language. When he said that, I understood clearly what he was talking about, because that's what I talk about. I talk about breathing to the feet, breathing to my ground, breathing to my root, oxygenating every single part of my body. Giving my blood what it needs, giving my brain what it needs, giving my lungs what it needs, giving my connection to others, my water, my second chakra, where I feel, where I fight or flight, where I connect to others, giving it that breath, giving oxygen, giving my fire oxygen so it can burn brighter and hotter and stronger, and I can stand in myself and who I am. Who am I? My name is Anthony Rodriguez, Walking Crow, and I'm a transformational energy healing practitioner. And this is what I do, and I can help you to come into your body, come into your soul. Coming into your soul. What a statement that is. And do you know what that means? Coming into your soul. The young lady I was talking to last night, she said she came from a family they were involved in a cult, a Christian right-wing cult. And I'm not saying anything bad about Christian right-wing. Every part of the world serves its purpose. So who am I to knock anything? It works for some, it doesn't work for others. It's none of my business. But what she did say was she hated God. There was no God as far as she was concerned. And that's okay. I can hear that. I think the Buddhists say there's no God. So who am I to argue? I agree to disagree. But she heard me talk about Creator Great Spirit and about giving things to Creator Great Spirit, giving the bondage and the wounds and the things that bind us to Creator Great Spirit. And she heard me talk in a way that was passionate. She heard me talk in a way about that was loving and discerning and caring and receiving at the same time as I was giving. And she heard the way I spoke of it. And she started to listen. Most people who are broken by others about religion and God don't want to hear anything about that sort of talk. But she was open and willing to listen, and I commend her. And I thanked her last night for allowing me to have an effect on her life, you know. So how can we change and you know, and not who, because a lot of us spend a lot of time trying to change the people around us, you know, putting our burdens and our duties on other people, and other people don't need to live up to our spoken or unspoken expectations, like we've been trying to live up to the spoken and spoken expectations of others. It's not fair to have it done to you, and it's not fair to do it to somebody else. I don't care if you're married to them. I don't care if you're a boyfriend or a girlfriend. I don't care if it's a brother or a sister. I don't care if it's a mother, son, daughter, you know, a father, son, daughter. I don't care. Having a spoken and unspoken expectation of somebody based on your thinking and possibly warped thinking is not a fair thing to do to somebody. Let go and let good. How do I do that? And I can tell you, if you call me at area code 818-442-1717, or you can reach out to me at Anthony at Sacred Drum Medicine, or you can go to my website at sacreddrum24.weebly.com. You can set up a 20-minute free consultation with me. I do energy healings in person or long distance. It depends on where you are and what your need is, and I can help you. I can help you get to that place, that jumping off place of coming into the awareness of what it is that affects you and how it affects you and where it lies in your body. Taking you back, doing a soul retrieval and taking you to the place of the ground zero of where that trauma, hurt, wound issue happened. Taking you to ground zero. You know, do you remember ground zero? Because there are people who don't remember what happened. They'll tell me there's a block, you know, and we'll work and dig and dig and dig and dig, you know, and go into the body, and we'll find the wound. You know, there's people that I have spoken to this week who, as they started to tell their story to me, and I started to ask pertinent questions to dig deeper to allow them to feel, and their spirit started to come up in their eyes, and they started to allow themselves to release through tears and emotion. They stopped themselves because of where we were. And I said, don't stop yourself. Let yourself go. I will hold space for you. If this is what you need to do, I will stand here with you. If you need to let this go right here, right now, have the emotion of it, have the tears of it, have the laughter of it, have the joy, have the hurt, but feel it in your body and allow it to move through your body and out of your body into the universe. And ask Creator, Great Spirit, take this burden from me so I can move forward. So I can step forward with my right leg. Move so I can step into a new way of being, a new way of life. And receive. What do you want to give to yourself? What is it and where is it that you want to be? How do you want to be there? Are you tired of living in a way that's substandard? Are you tired of being broke because you can't get past a certain point in your life because of hurt and trauma that is seemingly difficult to let go of? Are you tired? Is the burden, or has the burden become too heavy to carry? When will you let go? You know, would you grab the tail of a rattlesnake and hold on? You know, because he's going to bite you. You know, and those things that we carry around, those wounds that we don't let go of, they will, if we don't pay attention to them, they will follow us around and nip at our heels till they get our attention. Like a little hungry puppy, like a little hungry dog, or if you're a cat person, a little cat, they will follow you around to let you know that they're hungry. It's time for them to be fed. When will you feed yourself? When will you love yourself? When will you give yourself all the things that you've ever dreamed of and told yourself no because you weren't deserving? You are deserving. You should have those things. You should give yourself those things. Never tell yourself no. Always tell yourself yes. And don't let anybody else tell you no and steal your dream as well. I had a friend, a woman who originally said to me that I should become an energy healer. and I didn't know what that was at the time. She had a dream. She was in high school, and she went in to see her counselor. And she told me that she always wanted to be an artist. And she went in and saw her counselor, and she told him that she wanted to go to art school. And he told her that that was a waste of time. There was no money to be made in art school or from art. And he stole her dream. He's not paid to steal her dream. He's paid to counsel her and direct her in a good way. Now, she works in a good place. She works with people, women who are going to have children, and she helps them in a good way. There are people who may not have money, but she helps them to get medical care and the things that they need, so that baby comes into the world in a good way, and so they walk through their pregnancy in a good way. So there was some good that came out of that. But I watched her talk about that dream and have a broken heart about that dream that she never achieved, at places she never got. So I encouraged her. She was a jewelry maker, and I would encourage her to make jewelry. And she would doubt her jewelry, and I always praised it, because that's what we should do. Encourage the people who have a dream and want to step into their dream but don't know how. There's not very many people. Actually, that's not true. There's a whole lot of people out there who support Anthony Rodriguez Walking Crow, I hope, in my dream. Now, some of them aren't particularly close to me, because I couldn't even tell you if my family supports what it is that I do as a medicine man, as a healer, as a shaman. Because I don't talk to myself. I don't talk to them about myself in that way unless they ask. I try not to discuss those sorts of things, because sometimes people have their ideas because of religion or theologies or whatever, and they want to give you their opinion, and sometimes that starts arguments, and I agree to disagree. So there that is. 713-955-0332. Give us a call. Give me a call. I know you're out there, and I know you're, even if you're in your car and you're listening, and you're standing in traffic because it's raining, and you have one broken windshield wiper and it's scratching your windshield, turn the radio up, turn the phone up, and call in and let me know what you're thinking. Push 1 to get out of listen mode and ask a question. Give yourself an answer. If I have an answer, I'll give it to you. If I don't have the answer, I'll find it and then get back to you. I'll take your email, I'll take your phone number, and I'll get back to you. So give us a call. Let me see. So like I said, later I'll be at Life Food Organics, and I'll be doing the same talk, and I'll be talking about the same things, only in person. And one of the neat things I like about doing these talks in person is I actually get to put my hands on you, and I will put my hands on you if you allow me to be with you and be in your space and help you to heal in that way, so you can feel what it is and how it is that it feels when somebody's got their hands on you and you're letting go of an issue, or you're talking about the issue, or you're breathing into your body and you're noticing where that pops up in your body. Is it in my throat? Is it in my 5th chakra? Am I not able to speak about it? Am I holding energy? Does my jaw hurt? Do I clench my teeth? What is it? How is it? Is it in my heart? Is it in my lungs? Am I unloved? Do I feel unloved? Is it true or is it not true that I do? Or do I just feel loved that I'm actually loved and not knowing how to accept the love that's coming to me? Because there's so many different ways of feeling unloved. And being unloved may be not necessarily true. It may just be the story that we tell ourselves. And do I stand tall? And do I stand tall in my esteem? Do I stand tall in who I am? Do I feel supported in who I am and what I do and what I can be and what my goals are and what my dreams are? Are you? Can you? Do you? Will you? I hope. And am I connected to others? The 2nd chakra, water, connection to others. I hope. Direction of the West, direction of Grandmother Moon, direction of 28-day cycle, direction of autumn, direction of letting go. That's what the wonderful thing about the 2nd chakra is. The 2nd chakra, water element, is about connecting and letting go. Connecting and letting go. And nobody does that better physically, as an example, than women. Women are the prime example of letting go, because every 28 to 30 days, they let go of that seed that's not being fertilized. They let go. But if they took their bodies as an example, and I need to be careful how I say this because I don't want to offend anybody. Sometimes we don't know how to let go, whether we're male or we're female. We just don't know how to let go, regardless of the example that's in front of us, regardless of the physical example that we may be, regardless of the spiritual example we may be. Sometimes we just don't know how to let go. So, how can I do that? And how would it feel if I actually exposed myself to somebody else and I told them what was going on with me? Well, they just may understand what you're talking about because they may have gone through the same thing. And that's where the rub is, the relating to others. 713-955-0332. I'd like to welcome those who are listening on the Hawaiian Islands because I know they're there. And I'd like to welcome my friends who are listening in Warsaw, Poland, and in Canada. I have some friends in Canada who are listening and across the country and across the city and the county of Los Angeles. And I just want to say welcome. And I want to send a thank you out to, and I have to thank her every day, each and every day. And every time I broadcast, we broadcast, my producer, Tiffany White. Man, you know what? She does probably an amazing balancing act, probably. She does an amazing balancing act because she has so many shows on her network that she produces. And she works with so many healers in so many different ways, and on top of her own shows, and it's an amazing thing, and I'm grateful, and it's been 4 or 5 months since I started doing the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine show, and it's been such an amazing experience. And I was just thinking about this today, starting the end of the month, around the 26th, because there's something that's kind of a big deal for me, and into February, because February is my birthday month at the end of February on the 24th. And my sobriety date is January 26th, and I'll be turning 25 with regards to my sobriety. So I want to celebrate that in a way that each week I want to bring on one of my teachers, master shamans, whether it's Emma Molina Niquez, whether it's Master Seal, whether it's Marsh Engel, whoever it is, whether it's Jeannie Love, if she's open to that. I want to invite them, and I want to share them with you and share the kind of healing and teaching that I've received as a willing student, as a willing participant in my life and their lives as well, because I participate in their life as much as they participate in mine. And I have this special bond with these people, and what can I want to share that with you. So from the last week of January into the end of February, I'm going to have a guest on each day and invite them to join me and to share with you their medicine and what it is they do and how it is they interact with a hopefully humble servant like me. I hope. And who knows, maybe we'll even have Reverend Tiffany White join us as well, as a guest on the show. Why not? She's an amazing healer herself. She's an amazing medium, psychic, just amazing person. So let's see what we can do for the months of it coming up and moving forward into and preparing for springtime, because this is winter and this is the time of rest. And when we come into springtime, direction of the east, direction of Grandfather Sun, it's going to be time for new beginnings. So let's prepare for new beginnings with new teachings from old masters, old teachers, old shamans. And I don't mean old as in age. I mean old as in wisdom, knowing. Aho. All right, 713-955-0332. It's lonely here in the studio. It's just me and my producer, Tiffany White. So call in and say, hey, and I want to send a shout out to Ingrid Turner. Ingrid Turner has a show on this network as well. And Ingrid, on her inaugural show, had me on her show. I was her guest, her one and only guest. And, right after I got off the air, I was offered this show So I was blessed because I was willing to bless others, and somebody blessed me with just an invitation. And Ingrid has invited me back later this month, I believe in February, to be on her show, where she's going to talk about recovery and spirit. And then she wants to talk to me and have me come in and talk about the chakra system, because I talk about the chakras in such detail. So look for that coming later this month and later next month. And that's going to be fun. And I can't wait to go home and return to where I started with regard to talking on Blog Talk Radio and being able to have a voice and giving myself a voice. And I'm going to say this one more time, and with regard to voice. As a child, I was, like a lot of us were, and that's why I want to honor Tiffany White, my producer. I was told to be quiet. I was told to go to my room. I was told to shut up. I was told lots of things that diminished me as a child, diminished me as a human, diminished me as a person. And it's because those people told me to be quiet. Because they told me to be quiet is the reason that I have this show and I have to say what I have to say. Oh, Mitaki, I say. I no longer have that fifth chakra block. And every now and again, there's things that I hold and I have to wait till the right time to talk about. But that block has been removed because I don't let those people live in my head. I don't let those people live in my soul. I don't let those people live in my heart. I don't let those people diminish my fire, my fuego. I can, I will, I do, I am, I hope, my self-esteem. I don't let them diminish who I am. I don't let them diminish my connection to myself and my connection to others. They have no right to take my voice, and they didn't take my voice. There are those in our government who are about to try to take the voice of others, whether it's for religious purposes or whatever, political purposes. They're going to try to take our voice, and they can't do that either. And they're going to find out. They'll know. So they're going to try to silence us. No one has the right to silence you. Even if they silence you, your heart still beats, and I can hear your heart, and I feel your heart, and I will stand with you if you need to say what you need to say, if you need to release what you need to release. Call me. Call me at 713-955-0332. And call me. Now let's have our moment of release here on the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show. Or call me in my office, 818-442-1717. Set an appointment with me. Come see me. Let's walk through the hurts, the wounds, the traumas, the shame that you've been carrying around for a lifetime as baggage, as hurt, as wounds. If you go to my Facebook page, Anthony Rodriguez, Manos de Luz, you'll be able to see a picture, and I'm going to post it soon. It's a picture of the way I used to look like before I became an energy healer, before I started to let go. I was 238 pounds. I was heavy. And right now I'm 160. And you can see the differences where I had the shadowing in the fifth chakra in the neck. I had a really big neck. I was like a size 17, and now I'm like a 14 and a half. I don't carry those things in my fifth chakra anymore. I don't carry those things. And you can see it in the picture. You can see it in the body. And I showed that picture to somebody last night, my driver's license picture, and she said, "But you look happy." I said, "That is the mask, because I was miserable. I was dying. I was on 4 different kinds of diabetes medicine, and one of them was insulin. I was on high blood pressure medicine. I no longer take high blood pressure medicine. I no longer take insulin. I haven't for years, I hope. And the medicines that I take for my diabetes are now only 2. And they're just to manage, and I'm hoping to be off those as well. And, because I live an active life and I try to eat as good as I can, but sometimes, I'm human. And I let myself have things that I probably shouldn't. So saying that to you, living out loud, living out in front of you, living transparently, I say that to you so you can say to yourself, me too. I do that same thing too, Anthony. I'm glad you said it, Anthony, because then it allows me to not hide. It allows me to know that I can live out loud and transparent and out in front of everybody without having to hide and be shamed. Don't be shamed by the things that you do. Don't shame yourself over the things that your bad habits. It's okay. It's okay to forgive yourself and say, hey, to little Johnny or little Mary, your inner child, it's okay. It is okay. Give yourself a break. If nobody gave you a break, if nobody forgave you, if nobody overlooked the things that you did, the mistakes that you made, start to overlook those things for yourself now. Start to forgive yourself now. Forgiveness isn't for the other person. Forgiveness is for you. So forgive yourself for not forgiving yourself. Give yourself a break. Let yourself off the hook. God, grant me the serenity to expect the things I cannot change. In Alcoholics Anonymous, they like to pray, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. Accept, you should hear how much they don't accept after praying that prayer. So if I have an expectation that something's going to happen, something's going to go on, well, that lets me off the hook. I live in reality. I live in a reality that I have the understanding that stuff happens that has nothing to do with me, even if it has something to do with me. I have to accept my part, and that's just the way it is. I'm not going to deny that, or assume that I have a control that I don't have. Like the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous tells them and me, I'm talking about people in recovery, lack of power is your dilemma. Lack of power is my dilemma. If that's the case, that's the case. I either believe it or I don't. I'm not going to live in self-doubt, self-fear, self-loathing, self-anger. Because I don't want to look bad in front of me. I don't care how I look in front of people anymore. I don't care. They don't sleep in my bed. They don't sleep in my head. They don't live in my body. I do. And so do you with regard to you. 713-955-0332 is a number. Call in, press 1 to get out of listen mode and ask a question, get a healing, get a reading. We've got a few minutes left, probably about 9 minutes left till the end of the show. And, I'm really glad that it's raining today because I'm one of those people who finds the beauty in a cloudy day and a gloomy day, or what some people would call a gloomy day. I don't think of it as a gloomy day. I just think of it as God's way of nurturing, Mother Earth's way of nurturing her planet, herself, giving to herself. Just like we give ourselves a drink of water, a cup of tea, a bite to eat, a hug, receiving a hug from somebody else or giving a hug to somebody else, giving a kind word and receiving a kind word. And that right there and receiving a kind word is part of healing as well. If you're paid a compliment, don't find a way. I know sometimes discomfort or shame or whatever it is, fear, lets us find an excuse and say, oh, this old thing, or my hair's a mess, or whatever it is when somebody pays you a compliment. But, the optimal thing to say is thank you, and stand in who you are. Stand in that compliment and feel how, let that wash over you like a wave, or like a warm blanket when you're cold. Let the warmth of that wash over you and be with that. And understand that, wow, I've been seen. That felt good. Really be with that. More so than you are with the hurts and the wounds that you cry over, that you're angered over, that you complain over, that we cut people off over, and all those things. Give yourself the goodness of a compliment and receive it in a way and a spirit that was meant to be. Receive. Everybody take a deep breath. Now exhale. One more time, take a deep breath in. And exhale. And one more time, inhale. And exhale. As we move into the new year, I'm going to start doing that every 15 minutes. This is our show. 1-hour show. So every quarter hour, we're gonna stop to take 3 breaths into our body, into our soul, into our heart, into our feet, into our connection to ourselves, into our ground, to get into the habit of giving ourselves that of what we don't normally give ourselves, to get ourselves into the habit of being with our breath, to get ourselves into the habit of feeling into our body with our breath, and what it is it does for us, how it is that it nourishes us day in and day out when we're not noticing, when we're not paying attention. Be he or she who notices. Be she or he who is aware. Be she or he that feels. Be she or he that hears. Be she or he that understands. Become that person that understands, that feels, that sees, that senses, that knows. That is aware. Come into the awareness of what is. Come into the awareness. Coming to the end of the show, 713-955-0332. I want to thank everybody for coming and listening. And, feel free to reach out after the show's off the air, or, reach out to me at Anthony@sacreddrummedicine.com if you didn't catch the show. And we'll send you a link, or if you a link to anything that may be able to help you. What is that you want? How can I help? Reach out to me. Area code 818-442-1717 in my office. Call me and get a free 20-minute consultation to see how we can help you move into a new you, a better you. Not that you're not a better you, but how can we help you change your life? How can we help you change the things that you want to change? How can we help you get motivated to become consistent about being consistent? Master CEO, one of my teachers, he was talking to me about my social media stuff, and because I post a lot and I'm always marketing myself. And he says, you're everywhere. I said, I'm not everywhere. I'm just consistent about what I do, and I am, and you people know it. And anybody who was watching Facebook or social media this morning knows that I've been posting stuff since about 5 o'clock in the morning. I had issues sleeping last night. I came home with a migraine yesterday and I couldn't sleep. Still dealing with the migraine today. It's just the way things go sometimes, some sort of scent or odor got into my nostril in the wrong way, and when that happens sometimes, once or twice a year, I get this migraine, and it affects me in a physical way. But but I was able to send some stuff out today and touch people in a particular way. Whether people get angry, hurt, or motivated or happy by the things that I say and do, I'm glad, because I'm having an effect on others, and I want to have an effect on others because others have an effect on me. There was people that were willing to take time and to help me when I didn't know that I needed help. There was people who took time and were willing to help me when I knew that I needed help, and I reached out and asked for help. Are you able to reach out and ask for help? Are you able, and are you willing to ask for what it is that you want to help yourself, to give yourself, to do for yourself? Do you wear cement boots? Are you able to walk freely, to trudge the happy road of destiny? And trudge, I said trudge, not grudge, because people don't know how to use this word. They don't know what the word trudge means sometimes. Even in the circles in the rooms of recovery, they use it incorrectly. The definition of trudge is to walk with purpose. Do you walk with purpose? You can't walk with purpose with lead boots on, with cement boots on. You can't walk with purpose or while you're dog paddling through life. That's no way to go through life. Let's start doing some broad strokes and back strokes and long strokes to get us someplace, not to dog paddle and to wear ourselves out. I want to thank everybody and for coming and listening today. Happy Tuesday. happy rainy Tuesday or snowy Tuesday, wherever you are in the United States and around the world. Enjoy your day. And I want to thank you for coming today. This is a transformational sacred drum medicine show. And my name is Anthony Rodriguez, Walking Crow. And please reach out to me at anthony@sacreddrummedicine.com if there's a question you want to ask after the show, or if you want a 20-minute free consultation. Please reach out. Or you can call me at area code 818-442-1717. I'm looking forward to talking to you next week's show. I don't know what the subject is yet. I have to mull my brain, and I think we may even go back to the chakras and go through the chakras 1 through 7, one at a time, to be with those places in our body where we may need help. Once again, my name is Anthony Rodriguez, Walking Crow, and this is the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show, and I thank you for coming. So long.
Run to Old Navy tomorrow to get up to 50% off store-wide. Stock up on all of Old Navy's best-selling style faves, like tees from $5, dresses and jeans for the family from $15. Plus, get up to 75% off clearance. But you'd better hurry. At these prices, Old Navy's style faves are sure to go fast. Run to Old Navy tomorrow. Valid 1/13 to 1/22. Select styles only. Clearance valid through 1/22.